All right, we should be going live right now on YouTube. I just want to verify it. Give me a sec. And boom, we're live. Okay, here we go. First, thank you guys for joining me. My name is Kelby. I'm the executive director for HISAdvocates. Um, Always glad to have an opportunity to be with you guys. I know times have been a little bit chaotic and crazy lately, and I've got to agree. Um, Today, I guess, was day one of 42 million people not getting food stamps. Last couple of weeks, the people that did have food stamps had their food stamps revoked or pulled off their cards. And today is day one where they don't get added on to their stuff. They've been making videos about how they're going to bum rush Walmart and Target and all these stores. Just be careful out there, everyone. Churches, please stand up, start feeding the people and help mankind a little bit more as much as you can. Don't point them towards government. This is what happens when the church points people towards government. The inefficiency of being able to actually help somebody is 100%. Um, Government is completely shut down, not for the reasons people think. All the interviews you're seeing on TV about the Democratic Party and all the interviews that you're seeing on TV from the Democratic Party is about the Republican Party. And it's people at odds with one another, but it's smoke and mirrors to cover up the fact that they are transferring the entirety of the world into a new monetary system, 100%. And for those of you that have been following his advocates and myself, started talking about the new monetary system and the type of currency that you should be purchasing, XRP, XLM, XDC. My number one pick is XRP. I said it 7 years ago, 8 years ago, whatever it was, and I've held strong on it. It's been sued. It's gone through the court battle. It's the only currency in the world, cryptocurrency in the world that is considered currency. It is. They just bought a treasury. They've bought the mechanism, one of the largest exchanges, and they are applying to be a bank. They're holding on to 35% of all XRP, which is going to make them the largest bank in the world. And all of you guys that started down that path of freedom using cryptocurrency as a hedge against the downward spiral of the dollar, using gold, silver as a hedge against the downward spiraling of the dollar. You nailed it. You nailed it. We nailed it. So congratulations. It's about to get a whole lot better. And I mean it. Middle of the month, it's going to start taking off. There's these automated ways for ETFs to become approved within 20 days of application. They changed it right before the government went down. So my understanding is on the 15th, a few ETFs for XRP are about to be approved. On the 22nd, the entire platform for ISO comes live internationally. It was accepted domestically. July 14th, November 22nd is the international ISO acceptance. That means that all banks around the world are going to start utilizing Ripple's cross-border payment solutions and others, but primarily the others are going to be right in the back of Ripple's system. And in order for Ripple to be able to manage the massive amounts of transfers that are going to be happening around the world, it's got to be not necessarily revalued, but it's got to go up substantially in value. And that's what you're seeing right now is the complete theft off of exchanges of people's crypto by Binance. And you're also seeing the buyout of XRP from every exchange. What that means to you, when it runs out, people will, the exchanges will go up in value for XRP, and people will start selling their XRP to gain those increases and just trying to take some stuff off the top and go buy their car, go buy their boat, go buy their home, pay their debt, whatever it is. I want to encourage you guys to stay a little bit longer in the game. Don't jump out of the game right away. Let's play. It's okay. It's going to go up. It's going to go down. It's going to go up. It's going to go down. It's going to rise up. XRP will hit $10,000. And even if it takes 5 or 10 years, it'll hit that. And so anybody that can do the math right now at $2.39, whatever it is today, let's see what it is. $2.30. So XRP is down today, less than 1% down, 22% on the month, still up 10% over the last 6 months, still up 358% for the year. It's going to go parabolic mid-month. I'm excited. And you should be excited. We've been talking about this, planning this. I'm just going to ask you guys, don't sell off right away. And don't think getting yourself that nice car is going to make any difference in your life. There's some things happening in the world that we got to really consider. They're trying to make the entirety of the world come into this Chinese credit-based system. Palantir is working very hard to control all the data and control you and your life. Bill Gates, the same, and there's many, many people behind the new world order coming to a door near you. So there's absolutely a way that you can stop yourself from entering into this digital prison, and then that's say no. It's simple. Just say no. Um, we are going to meet all the people necessary to allow for us to be able to operate outside of that digital prison and be able to move money, move crypto, move gold, move silver, buy, sell, outside of those systems. And it's not going to be just within our own community. It'll be outside of our community and with other people. So just know that, and just know that we don't need to go down this road of selling ourselves short or um, coming up short with God and saying, "Yeah, I'm sorry, God, we had to take the mark." I want to hear the words, "Well done, good and faithful servant." And I don't think the mark is what a lot of people think. I have a different opinion about that, but either way. Nevertheless, because gold has gone up to the amount of money that it has, and gold's price today, I think, is at 4,025 bucks. Yep. Silver's gone up again, almost doubled in the last year and a half. That's a problem for us. It's gold doesn't come up in value because it's expanding. It's the same. It's the same constant mineral that or element that it was before. It didn't change. And so when you think about gold, you got to think about it in reference to its value being hedged against the dollar. So if the gold is going up in value according to the dollar, so if it changes from 2,000 to $4,000, it's because the dollar's going down in value. Gold can't change. It's the valuation of the dollars because this president and previous presidents have been telling the Treasury to keep printing and getting permission from the Federal Reserves to keep printing. I mean, if you can print money, I don't know why you can't just say don't worry about taxation. And there's these things that are really weird about things going on and that don't make sense to me, but it is what it is. So, I have not really left money in bank accounts. I've hedged against it as much as possible, and I'm a rich man for who I know, um, my friends, my family, my God. But I've been blessed to be able to know a few little things just to make sure that I'm staying private and keeping going in this realm of getting ready for whatever, you know. But at the same time, I'm sick of getting ready. I'm sick of knowing that something's going to happen. I'm sick of hearing about the things in Somalia. Sick of hearing about the things in South Africa. I'm sick of hearing the things that are being done, the atrocities that are being done all over the world from people that are being praised. We're told they are our friends and we support them, and I don't understand, you know, how we come behind these things. And then you listen to Christian scholars say, "Oh, it's biblical." No, it's not. No, that's a lie. That's a lie. You're using an Old Testament scripture that does not expressly name that country's name. It doesn't. So we have to start making smart decisions for us. And part of that is understanding who you are personally and understanding how much you can do personally. And That is cutting off the whore. If you got a hooker standing next to you and she smells or he smells gigolo, I'm speaking of the whore Babylon. If you got a whore next to you, you don't want to sit there and pay the smelly, stinky whore, do you? I mean, I wouldn't pay a clean whore. Just come out of her, my people, means you don't invest any longer in that structural system that is making a muck of the world and making the pretense that you're this great Christian nation. You come out, you get your hands clean, you wash your hands of being dirty. You don't let your money participate in that structural system. And you let your other Christian friends call you a non-good Christian because you're not paying your taxes. That's right. It's okay. So you'll get past that once they understand what Romans 13 is really talking about and what our government really is and isn't, and what you have here in this nation being self-governed. So don't worry about what other people think, but understand our strength in what's coming is our individuality in our jurisdiction that we position ourselves in. Our strength in what's coming is knowing how to properly vest in our titles, our children, our title over our children, our cars, meaning how do we vest all these things, and our land. That is going to have so much power and so much strength. And if it wasn't, if none of that is powerful, holding land properly in a foundation, meets and bounds, using gold, doing it properly with a proper vested deed in fee simple absolute. If that wasn't important, then why did they change it from that in the 1800s to present day deeds? Because it is important, because that's their way of saying we can rip you off under a legal proclamation as a president to come and take your stuff in an emergency war powers act scenario, or in this assumption of lands because we're building a railway through your property. And listen, if it wasn't important to come out and get all that stuff pulled out and put it under the Elohim right now, if you don't know what that means, we can actually record deeds and foundations with meets and bounds land using gold instead of Federal Reserve notes on the deed, and using a foundation instead of your name or a corporation name. Hence, no jurisdiction over the deed. Becomes a recordation instead of a registration. You're pulling it out of their grasp. As a matter of fact, listen to you people in Kauai. I'm going to be there middle of the month. We are dropping some marketing material out to the people that want to come to an event on how to protect yourselves. You guys, of all people, know you're getting ripped off and screwed by the billionaires walking all over you because you don't have vesting done properly. You don't have your recordations done. And you know what? Quite frankly, they're doing all these things on purpose. So we're going to do a how to protect yourself, your land, your what God has given you in that beautiful country out there on the I think it's the you can go to HISadvocates.org right now, click on events, and it's already on the calendar for the 15th. It's a master class in Kauai on securing your homeland, personal jurisdiction. We got the flyer over there. Again, Kauai on the 15th of November. I can't wait. It's a 9 to 3. Donation of $50 gets you in. If you don't have it, don't worry about it. But if you need help, get your butt there. Um, We're going to do whatever it takes to help America wake up and to help America understand where they fail. I'm trying to get our books out to as many people as possible. If you guys become a VIP member, a paid VIP member, it's $49 a month. You're gonna get your address information taken from you. I'm gonna autograph the book, and I'm gonna send you a book because I think this book is that important for people to understand. So people that are just getting their mind wrapped around and want to take a risk on understanding what HISadvocates is doing, go sign up as a VIP member today. Make sure that when our guys call you within a few hours, make sure you have a good phone number. We're going to get you because we'll get your address written down. We're going to send you an autographed book and thanking you for your VIP membership. And it will really walk you through what it is that we do. And we give you all the law, the case sites, everything to support what we do. And that's the most important thing to understand, that you have the power and you have the Supreme Court standing behind you, understanding what you do and who you are now as one of the State of the Union citizens, one of the creditors, not one of the debtors under the United States corporation. And that's super important. People get their minds wrapped around understanding the power that they have right here, right now in this nation. Um, I'm really sad for what's going on in the country right now, but at the same time, there's things that you guys can do to position yourselves in a much different world. And I'm gonna say you need to be a part of our VIP membership. We're helping everybody understand why crypto, how, what they have questions, how to hold it properly, how to when to buy, when to sell. We just did backgrounds on uh, Jake Claver. I have some interesting stuff for you guys tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. to tell you. I will not publish anything out right here, right now, ever, but there's certain things that you guys need to know. And this is why we have these private group meetings to where we can support each other and we know where to go with our stuff instead of um, just relinquishing it out to the random person. We're vetting people. I flew out to Texas for you guys to go meet him personally, and we ran some backgrounds. We're looking at some things, and we're going to post it all to you so that you know. Um, why? Because crypto is going to 1000x. What does that mean? If you have $1 in crypto, you're going to have $1,000 soon, someday, very soon. It is the largest wealth transfer opportunity ever been in the history of the world. They're using crypto, specifically these 8 currencies, to hedge the entirety of the world to move money through these cryptos. These banks are going to be able to hang on to some XRP now. And instead of having an escrow account in the 35, $36 trillion range, that's going to flush out of those escrow accounts, give that bank that money back, and those banks now just need to hold XRP to move money through the Ripple ledger and platform. It's the element of how much XRP that they hold that gives them this ability to do it. It's the new way of moving money both locally and internationally, and for on the very, very, very cheap. And so Ripple came out of the NSA, in my opinion. So did Bitcoin. Ripple's the oldest company in crypto. Ripple's the only company ready and poised to do what they say they're going to do. Ripple is a part of the strategic reserve for the United States. It was the first coin out of President Trump's mouth. We pegged it. We did it. You're holding your bags. Keep your bags in place. Watch what's about to happen. It's exciting. I can't wait. I can't wait, honestly. With everything that's going on in the world and with the things that I'm learning, I can't wait to be able to afford a boat to get out there with you guys. We're gonna go tour the world, check it out, work on our satellite phones, and be an international jurisdiction, not listening to all this, foolishness, and go see the land of Jesus. And for any of you that doesn't know what that is, don't worry about it. It's not in the Middle East. There's some things I've talked to the VIP members about, what I found on old maps that blow my mind that I want to go check out, man. I want to see what's really in this world that they're covering up. I want to see the things that make life worth living, because I'm 55 years old. I can't believe I haven't really gone out and done the things that I've wanted to do. I've been in ministry now for 15 years. Before that, I was business, raising kids and family. And now I'm ready. I'm ready to get out there and do some serious work for God and see the world. And there's nothing wrong with having fun while you do ministry. I mean, people want to tag ministry work to being this woe is me and sad is me and look at me sweep and clean the toilets. No, man, let's go blow it up and take some stuff down and feed millions. I mean, whatever it takes. That's where God is moving us to. And you don't need to have a a sad heart because you're in ministry. I think it's a glorious opportunity to serve, and that's really the mindset that we all need to have. So I just want to tell you guys that kind of thing because we are coming to a different world. And it doesn't need to be a negative thing. Yeah, there's going to be all the same pictures they're showing you online, all the same this, all the same that. Just take your focus off of that, put it in prayer. I see all these men piling up in Sudan and these Christians that are falling right now, left and right. And I'm just like, Lord, bless that nation. There's nothing you can do right now other than ask President Trump, the savior of the world, to intervene on that one too, because that's what he is. He is, considered according to the Jerusalem Post to be the Messiah for Israel. Not joking. I'm not joking. So understand we have everybody's been smitten with this guy and thinks he's all that in a bag of chips. Just be careful. Just be careful. There's a lot of people saying he converted to Judaism in 2017 and he supports that entirety of that operation that's happening, the Zionist operation that's happening, representing itself as the original Hebrew people, which they are not. Um, there's some things to consider. And I'm not saying I'm against Israel or pro. I'm definitely not pro murdering on either side. I'm definitely tired of the setups that I'm seeing left and right of corporations masquerading as countries and doing these crazy operations, false flags, just so they can start wars. You know, yeah, I think a lot of the things that you see are planned events and for the purposes of allowing for wars to take place. This is a sad world when massive monetary things change. It's at the hand and the precursors and the postcursors always war. It's always war because that's what settles new contracts. That's what allows for monies to flow for their corporations they own. And I to be frank with you, um, I'm tired of it. I'm just tired of war. I'm tired of hearing all these things. I just want to serve in the highest capacity that I can. I want to help as many people become free. I want their finances to no longer support these structural systems. I want them to use their finances for the good and for the healing of this world. And I want to be a part of that. I'm just fed up with the negativity that goes with ministry and the negativity that goes with what these countries are doing to each other. These corporations masquerading as countries are doing to each other. I think we all should be fed up. It's a sad state that we're in, and we're allowing it to happen. And it's horrible. Anyway, first question, then I can get out of here a little bit quicker. The journey has been unique by Patricia, and I hope to finish it soon with the active state. By the way, we can record active states for you, not through the Department of State, but through a public recordation and give you all the tool sets that you need to send it out to your final people. I tried to do it through the Pennsylvania Secretary of State, but they rejected it and sent it back. I heard HISA could do it. I forwarded it, but guess something was not correct. I thought it was. Alex has been an amazing help. Thank you, Patricia, for saying that. Haven't heard back from him lately. He's waiting on you. I guarantee it for something. So I'm reaching out to understand. Also, I'm in limbo with our house. The deed has been filed in the foundation name, but they said they'll send tax notices to it. It's because you haven't done anything about it. You haven't applied for the tax exemption, and they're going to fight you 100% on it. Just because we put something in a foundation doesn't mean they make a presumption that you're a church or you're a tax exempt organization. There's other paperwork that needs to be done in order to get that accomplished. Um, HISA did the deed. Would you help me with these two specific things? Absolutely. So go to your county recorder, tell them you filed something in the name of your church organization, a humanitarian foundation, and you'd like the form to have it become tax exempt according to the county recorder. They're going to give you a form if you need help filling it out. do your best that you can, post it to your ticket, and we'll go over it with you before you submit it. Again, Patricia, it's going to be a fight. They're not going to lay down, but they have laid down for people. And there are people out there that have had to go all the way to the point of lawsuit. They do not want to make a case precedence. You're a private church, no matter what. Doesn't matter if you hold services on that location or not. They allow for this for their 501c3s. They should allow for it with a 501a, a 508c1a, or anything that's private and unrecorded as listing it as a humanitarian foundation. So you got to let them know. You got to say, this is who we are, what we do, file in the form, and get an appropriate response when it requires one. You're going to probably have to do multiple mailings and maybe even take it into court. Um, Lastly, I don't know what was needed from Alex. I just asked for clarity on your ticket with Alex on the active state. We can do it. We would post you a link for a payment, and then we need your docs in a certain order. We will post what order they should be in with what needs to be in those docs and your proof of mailings and all that, because you're creating your court of record. This is the most important part, the finishing up your court of record and serving constructive notice to all the parties. So ask Alex for clarity, and then I'm sure I'll give it to you. Next question. Tell we're in the need of a form for correction of record for personal bank account we had set up. You don't really need one for a personal bank account unless it's new after the fact from you becoming a state of the union citizen. Then you're just going to ask Alex for the form to correct the record on an application. Don't say anything specific. If he doesn't know what it is, I'll get it, and just say Kelby will help you get this if you don't know what this is. And I meet with Alex every day, every other day, working on tickets. Um, cool. I think it was wrong description, but we'll see. We'll see. Something I've been pondering. Boogly Lee Roo. I know it's not your name. It's okay. If the U.S. corporate law is the opinion of de facto judges, U.S. corporate law is the public law of a corporate set of officers known as Senate and House. Wouldn't the United States Supreme Court be the opinions of those de facto judges for the corporation? They hold both offices, guys. And this is what people often misconstrue, and so did I. But they hold both offices. They hold an oath for the office of a de jure Supreme Court justice with the full knowledge of the operation being under a de facto corporation. So a lot of times they're dealing with the element of how do you be a de jure and de facto? Well, you got to weigh out who is in de jure and who is in de facto. So when you are referencing a case site post 1871, let's just say, because that's when for sure the corporation took over, that is still valid for state citizenship because those Supreme Court decisions are from judges that were appointed and took the oath in the de jure by the corporate president who set aside the de jure president, meaning many people, like the president, are still with an office to uphold the God-given unalienable right of the state citizen, all the way down to the courts. The courts have to prove subject matter jurisdiction and how they got it. And so those jurisdictional affidavits up front on a case or a warrant are going to stipulate what they did to gain jurisdiction. And so if you're a state citizen, which nobody really knows what you are, it's presumed largely because that everybody's a US citizen or you're a sovereign citizen. It's because nobody's been training on the subject matter of state citizenship. And this is why, guys, this book is critical. This is why this is what we want to get out for to a bunch of people. And look, don't read this when you're smoking dope, and don't read this when you're drunk. And y'all know who I'm talking to. This is not a hard book to read. This is not a technical book, and it's not a getting you down book. It's very interesting because it unequivocally shows the case sites that are allowing for us to be in Republic right now and allowing for us to choose the citizenship and structure of being out of and out from underneath that corporation in law. Meaning, I've showed you that if you're a state citizen in this book, in law, according to the Supreme Court, policies and codes are not what you're a part of. The policy enforcement officers, in theory, by law, are not supposed to do anything against you if they're trying to indict you under code or statute. And that's just a fact. That's not me with an opinion. There are different jurisdictions. And this is why they have to prove they have jurisdiction over you before they can bring you into certain case elements. And I'm just telling you how it is. So that book, if you can go to Amazon and you can buy it, Kindle version is $2.99 still. The Audible version is like $8-9. The purchase version is $17.76. But if you become a VIP member and you want to get involved with his advocates, make sure we have your address. As a new VIP member, we will give you a signed autograph copy of a book. Most of you existing VIP members have bought one. We thank you for your support. We are trying to make and expand our membership base and help as many people as we can. We are going to bring a bunch of books out to Kauai with us in a couple of weeks, and I'm really excited about that. We'll be autographing them for you guys out there. Let's see how many people we can get out there. Hopefully 100, 200 people. I know Hawaii is vested, man. Hawaii, y'all are taking it very serious because you love your homeland and you're trying to figure out how to operate in these times with the billionaires taking over Kauai and all that stuff. So I'm really excited about coming out and seeing you guys and helping you on the 15th of this month. So again, you can go to hisadvocates.org, click on the event section, go to the event. There's a link to sign up and get over there. It's already up and working. Also, I've been hearing that the point of correcting my employment status at my work, how can I get my workplace contract with the foundation when I'm a licensed healthcare professional? You can't. You're working for a corporation that has requirements for licensed people. You're not holding the license, though. It's your registered organization. So when you're contracting under a W-4 or a W-2, receiving a W-2, you're going to want to make sure you're using a W-4 that protects you. You know, you're going to want to make sure that you have the elements of the W-4, like a W-4T, where it's exempt. You're exempt all the way through. That's one of the ways to get it accomplished. You can always go outside and say, I'd like to be a contractor, and utilize the foundation. Many people have done that, even healthcare professionals that we've had. But there's only two choices. It's going to be a W-4, or three choices, W-4T or a W-8BEN, which is the true status. Because you're not really a non-resident alien, but on a W-8BEN, it's for non-resident aliens. We changed it to state citizens. We don't admit to being something the IRS has coded as a non-resident alien because there is some requirements under federal law that you still be taxed under federal law as a non-resident alien. But what you want to do is utilize a W-8BEN that has been corrected with the status being as a state of the union citizen. That makes you exempt. Again, in our book, state citizens do not pay taxes. You're a creditor, you're not a debtor. Do with that what you will. That's the law. That's not what I'm saying. If you're a Christian out there, you're going crazy because your pastor told you to be a good Christian, you got to pay your taxes, and that's simply not the case. There's different jurisdictions for different Christians all over this world. Some of them do not reside under corporations. Some reside under situations like Americans, state of the union citizens that reside under situations that are by a fact in law non-taxpayers. And I can choose who I want to contract with. I don't need to go on a W-2 with a corporation. I can make my own entity, a UBT, unincorporated business trust, or I can use a private humanitarian foundation, give it all to God right now, and have it operate through that. Anything I want to do, so long as it glorifies God. Yeshua owns everything on this earth. Revelations 5, read it. Title deed of the earth, everything. Why? Because he's coming back. So when you get your mind in that position of understanding he is coming back and that all of this already belongs to him, let's not make a pretense of why we want to put something in our name that we don't even own. You don't own your name. That name belongs to the state. They've incorporated it, they've registered it, they put it in the public. Nobody made a claim for it. You can own the name, but you don't. And that's the point. And that birth certificate, the registered organization, UCC9, is the corporation that they own that you're holding the office to, which is the US citizen. And if you're holding that office and you're operating that US citizen, which has a job list and set of requirements that you must be a taxpayer, that you are a debtor, that you are taking the liability, that you will get a driver's license and become a driver for them, that you will get a voter's registration card and become a voter and join a PAC and become a Republican or a Democrat. And now you're just further in the mix of proving you're holding the office of US citizen. Get it? This is why that book is so important, so that you can believe that you are not a party to the corporation, that some random corporation, some sovereign with exclusive jurisdiction in the District of Columbia, UCC 9-307H. That sovereign with exclusive jurisdiction in the District of Columbia just can't come and make a claim over a real estate citizen, somebody who is one of the creditors of that defaulted bankruptcy, HJR 192. They just can't come and make that claim because you're free under God. And there are provisions in our laws that protect people that say, I want to come out of her. And the crazy part about it is that we've proved in the last 10 years that all corporations masquerading as countries around the world have subjected their birth certificates to be under the Securities and Exchange Commission. Now, all people around the world, they made deals with the whore to sell, to receive capital and sell off their people's equivalent into the whore system, which is why the world order structure is utilizing the bankruptcy of the United States to placate into the controls of every nation around the world. Hence, we were right that to come out of her, my people, come out of that whore, that one that is continually dripping and saying, give me more, I want more, continually allowing for the 500,000 kids just in this nation alone to disappear. And let's not talk about that one. Let's not bring that one up because that's too gory. That's allowing for the destruction and things around the world to take place. That's allowing for these news media organizations to just lie at random, where there is no accountability with Democrats or Republican office holders. There's no accountability for their lifestyles. There's no accountability for what they invest in. There's no accountability for the fact that they can't be arrested on the way or coming from or in the act of their duty. They are bulletproof on purpose so that they can commit these acts of fraud and make it look like it's the other party's fault. This is why that structural system, you're being told to come out, because it's all evil. There are some good people in it, but it's all evil. And I'm just tired of the show. I'm tired of the show. The show's really a nasty show. She doesn't even look good naked, man. She's nasty. She's ugly. I'm doing a metaphor if you didn't know. I don't watch porn. It's okay. Anyway, there are ways of getting stuff done to be a licensed healthcare. We have plenty of doctors, plenty of nurses, plenty of people in the private side and the public side operating and holding their status. But it's all, remember something, it's all in how you contract on that W-4 or the W-8. Um, it's maybe the same issue I'm having with the United States Post Office as a licensed healthcare professional. I hold the license, do what I do. The foundation does not. Um, this is where I find there is a major struggle as the licensed professional in order to conduct my work. Uh, it's me that holds the license, not the foundation. Again, I've asked questions about this on the VIP, but I've had zero responses. So I'm shooting here in the dark. I doubt you've had zero responses, respectfully. We respond here. Maybe you haven't heard every one of these calls. Just FYI. Do you have any medical professionals, a ton that you can talk to? It depends on what kind of medical professional you are. I can look for one and ask if they want to come out of being private and talk to you. But we do it all the time. Again, I've answered your question. It's a W-4 or W-4T or a W-8BEN. You must use revised documents that outline it for a state of the union citizen, and you can walk in and become exempt under a W-4 to where they don't deduct the taxes from you, and to where at the end of the year, as a state citizen, you have no obligation to file a return, period. So that's an answered question, just FYI. Um, And what do I need to do to submit the ROE revocation of election to the IRS? You're not reading the cover of the revocation of the election and what to do. It's got a pinpointed, very specific thing on what to do. This is not rocket science. You sign it, you notarize it, you put it in an envelope, you stamp it, you lick it, and you mail it. It's right there on the cover. It's not hard to do. And I'm not trying to make fun of you, but that's a question. Like, why would you ask that question? The instructions are on the cover of the documents. I'd like to get this done ASAP, as my company was just transferred ownership to somebody else, and they have announced we all will be receiving a 40% reduction in salary. Ouch. Can't survive on that. Stopping the taxes will absolutely help me make it through. Okay, so we answered your question. Just hopefully that helps. Next question, paid off my car this month. What do I need to do to get the actual title and not the certificate of title on that? I don't really help people on that. There's people on YouTube that will do it for you for a couple $100 to about $500 to get you the MSO. But again, your car needs to, if you've had it registered before, you're going to need to unregister it if you're trying to take it out of the DMV. You're going to have to work on that. That's not something that we offer for help. There are people out there that can help you do that. But then again, you're taking a risk driving without a license plate without tags. But the MSO is first step. Second step, removal from the DMV, noticing them of a non-registered vehicle, and that you should not be pulled over for XX. And there's people out there that can help you with docs. If it were me, I'll put the car in a different state, cheap, where you don't need to smog and pay inexpensive tags, and keep the car plated, if it were me. There's coming a time where we're not going to be able to do that if we want to drive. You know what I'm saying? One more question regarding passport. If the Supreme Court has ruled that citizens can be a U.S. or Union State citizen, why are they not including that ruling with our application submission? That's a good question. As a matter of fact, we asked that in probably 5,000 plus FOIA requests. As for the public law that they are using pertaining to the application, and where can we find it in what registry that they're utilizing for the oath and all that. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because we know they're playing tricks on every application around the world, on everything. And so it says we got them at least to change the oath of office on the passport application. It used to be on page 4 where it said if you're going to change anything on the application, submit an explanatory statement. Now it's right in the oath of office because they want you to, and they've worded it in a very suspicious formatted way that, yeah, somewhere like this, if you might be something different than a U.S. citizen or national of the United States. Well, there's also national. Why didn't they put that one? National is 8 USC 1101 A21. National of the United States is 8 USC 1101 A22. So why did they use U.S. citizen or national of the United States, but not national? You know, they're not even using everything they have in their own code for different things. So state of the union citizen is completely outside of the code of the United States. It's not in the code of the United States. It's not found on the, it's not the word national, even though national means a person that owes allegiance to a state. You're not a person, and that word state is one of the federal territories according to Cornell law, which is according to public law. So you can't make allegiance to being a national of the United States, which is that one's synonymous with being a U.S. citizen. So, of course, they're going to write something to their benefit for their own jurisdiction so they can pull everybody into the bankruptcy. And this is why they want people to fail for a lack of their knowledge. And this is why you have to have an organization with the knowledge and the experience of doing whatever tens of thousands of these that we've done over the last, 15 years. You got to have the support. You can't come in under, well, I'm an American national. I'm a state national. I'm a state of the union citizen, but I'm not going to apply right. You got to have the experience of what it means to go through these things. And I'm not trying to make fun of people. It just says we all have failed and used improper codes and not understood what jurisdiction is. So, of course, they're not going to put the right language on there because then it would cause a major chaos. But I have showed people straight up the Supreme Court agrees with me. Hundreds of Supreme Court cases over the years we have found. I don't know how many we have in here. I haven't counted them. There's got to be at least 30 dealing with state citizenship, dealing with your freedoms, dealing with your rights, dealing with everything. The point is, you only need one shepherdized active case law today, and it disproves the fact that, well, they maybe should have put it in there. They should have put state citizen. But the second they've done that, they've thwarted everything they've done with the FBI and training law enforcement about these people called sovereign citizens. I'm not a sovereign citizen. I want nothing to do with that. I'm a state citizen. What's the big deal of me wanting to be an American? Why is that? Why you got to make it seem like I'm up in the mountains having a driver's license burning party and I'm building bombs and I'm this crazy guy that has all these da 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 da. Why do you got to do that? Stop it. And just understand the law supports exactly what I say I am, which I'm not a party to the federal government. They work for me in law. I don't work or serve them. I'm not placating as surety to their debt. I, in law, can do what I said I'm going to do. As a matter of fact, my passport says I am not a U.S. citizen. I will never be a U.S. citizen. And I'm making my allegiance to the Declaration and to the state body of people to which was born around, which is California. It's a body of people. All states, lowercase, old school, pre 71, 1871, are people. Then they incorporated state of California, state of Virginia, state of New York. And those are communities of persons, which eventually became artificial persons. It's very sneaky. They use all the same words, same names, same everything. Of course, they're not going to put it on the application. They don't want you to think you're applying to the corporation, which has to list the proper form and name of our country on the passport, United States of America. And so they got to give you the opportunity to know who you are, and they're not going to lay it out for you and make it easy. I wish they did. Also, any case law that discusses that would show that a precedent has been set, wouldn't that make sense and send that with the application and avoid the pushback at the DOS? Yeah, we do it here and they still push back and we still get the passports. They always push back. Come on. Knocking on good doors, they don't always open the first time. Let me in. No. Who are you? You gotta let them know who you are. You gotta make the case for your position because most people on those floors have not been trained in our application. So you got to go through corners. You got to get pushbacks. They got to take it to legal. Legal comes back and says he's right. Give him a passport. That's why. They don't want all the underleanings to know. It's the same with courts. All courts are U.S. policy enforcement courts. It's not till you get to the appellate court, the appellate court, the appellate court. That's not until you get there to where you actually get some real law, some real support. Next question. Regarding signatures, I am an EMT. I have to sign patient records. You are not an EMT. You are a man. Your registered organization holds a license called EMTs. So on those applications, sign with the word by in front of your name, do a full signature, and somewhere just put without prejudice, non-assumptive underneath the signature. If it were me, I will get a very tiny stamp. I'm looking for my stamp right here. Very tiny stamp. Hold it so that you can see it. Can we all see it? Let me look. Hold on. I don't know if it's held up the right way. Anyway, um, mine is probably 4 or 5 font size, ARR non-assumptive without prejudice, super small. And I put that right above the line and sign over it. And if there's my name is in all caps on it, I always put the word by in front of my name, showing I'm the authorized agent, but not that person. Because I'm recognizing that as a corporation. I'm not holding the office. I'm showing I'm the authorized agent. So that's how you sign all that. Good evening. Did Kelby use his personal name for Uphold as a request in the SNP? No, I never opened up an Uphold account. I have had a lot of people open them up personally, and it doesn't really matter how you open them up. What matters is if you're purchasing in your name, that you make sure you do a donation to your foundation in writing, dual witness, notary. If you're a member in the living in the private or a VIP member, we actually give you the form for free. You donate your crypto, no matter how you buy it, it's okay. Donate your crypto to your foundation, show the paper trail, and make sure you put it on a hard wallet, cold storage, as soon as possible. That basically takes care of any application, any way you do it, because you're allowed to donate to anything you wish. Capiche? All right, let me look into the Zoom for any requests. Q&A. Here we go. For the foundation's checking account, have you ordered checks? No, I haven't. I haven't done checks in 15 years. You can. Is there anything special that you would include on them? That's a great question. I would actually get the signature line to have the word buy in front of it already, and then I'd put the stamp right on top of that signature line, all pre-printed on the check, so you're not having to worry about that. Make sure that you put without prejudice on your checks, and I'd put without recourse as well. So something to the, don't worry about non-assumpts that you're writing a check. Just you're going to put the word buy on the signature line. You're going to put without recourse, without prejudice, all rights reserved on a check. Super small font printed above the line, below your signature. Word buy at the beginning of the signature line. Without recourse, without prejudice, all rights reserved. A period, R period, R period. You can abbreviate the all rights reserved. If so, would there be anything special you would include on them? For example, the address, you don't include brackets. I'm not worried about jurisdiction on a check, but you can bracket the zip code. You can put non-domestic without the United States. Really doesn't matter too much on those types of documents. You're not contracting with anybody. You're just writing a check. Next question. Are there any ETAs on when HISA currency exchange will be up? That's a great question. It is up. Uh, there's reasons that I can't make public right now that we're not making it public to you guys. I can check the status again. We can go live at any time. It's taking a 1% charge and doing it in a form and fashion that allows for currencies to be cleanly washed through a very specific system. I'm not the only guy involved in this one. I'm not writing the code in this one, so I will keep you posted, John, because I can't wait for that thing to go live myself. Um, Once deeds are completed and moved into our foundation, can we build or do pretty much anything on the property without getting licenses? Jack, that's a great question. Permits or anything from the building department? If yes, then what we might expect from the building department or town in regards to doing what we want on our property, and how would we respond? Um, okay, the only thing, Jack, I'm going to do is talk about what I would do myself, which was I would unpermit whatever I'd want, work with a contractor to build whatever I'd want. and know that some cities are different, some counties are different, some don't care. They wait till you're done, then they come in and do their inspections with or without your permission. If you don't have any gates, they'll walk on your property, look and see that something's been changed, something's been added, something's been done. And then they'll give you some fines, and then you got to pay and do the permitted process if you wish, or you can fight them. It's very simple. It's very simple. When you have something recorded in the county in the foundation name, in the vesting fee simple absolute, you control that land, especially meets and bounds. You don't control the land any other way. So it is a permission based thing for them now to come to you and request permission to come onto your property, which they do not have authority to inspect anything, which they do not have, you know, any right to say that you can or cannot do something to the center of the earth. Um, it's not to say you're not going to have a fight on your hand, but any court would see that you'd be a clear-cut winner with the title vesting that you're holding. Number one. Number two, that they would have no jurisdiction over the foundation. They would have no jurisdiction over the land, period. Just because they are a corporate county recorder. It's the vesting style that's important. The vesting would be fee simple absolute, which means that is yours to do as your disposal. Read Black's Law and fee simple absolute so you can get your mind wrapped around it. The response would be, you may have to fight him, you may not. We have people all over the country doing this all the time, and some people ask, some people don't. I get it. If you're living next to the county recorder's office, you may want to consider all things, and do you really want to fight it? But here's something I need you all to know. As a real estate broker by trade, as a guy who's done thousands of loans and understands real estate and title better than probably the average bear, I want you to know you're going to have an issue in selling the property. If this is your life property, go for it. Don't worry about it. Pass the issues on to your kids, but you can secure this and help your kids understand that when you sell that room addition, that whatever you've done onto the property is going to be considered valuable to the individual, but it's not going to be something that the county has on a record. So therefore, it's not going to be something that the county will construe as lawful, if you will, or legal. And so it doesn't matter though, because you're still going to be able to get it insured. It's just going to be insured in a different way with the title insurance policy. Number one. Number two, you're still going to be able to get the value that you want out of it upon sale. You're going to say, look, I don't care. I got 4,000 square feet. Buy it, sell it. I don't care. The county shows it at 3,200. We did it at 800. We did it out of inspections. The guy's going to know he's going to have to, if he wants to bring it forward into the county recorder, he's going to have to go get it inspected and so forth. But you do a full disclosure upon sale, and you go for the price that you're looking for based on 4,000 square feet, not 3,200. Um, so that's the issue. But nevertheless, it still works. Okay, next question. I've been a member at a gym with the same gym for over 20 years. In order to ensure non-jurisdiction, how do I have them stop using my name? Don't worry about it. Doesn't matter. Everyone there knows me, so using a different name wouldn't work. Just tell them don't bill you, don't send you mail in your name. That's all you care about. Would I ask them to change my name to a foundation name? No need. Because the foundation name is paying the membership. You can do that and see if they can. That's fine. I doubt that would work because all members are photographed. You can be photographed with the foundation name. But we're only worried, Joseph, if we're getting mail in the all caps name. We do want our bills to be under a corporate name, and I guarantee that Jim can do a corporate account with you at your current rate, and then put a dummy name in there for you instead of the foundation name. But you just don't want to receive personal mail in your name. That's all that matters. George, should I keep my life insurance beneficiaries as my wife and daughter since it's non-taxable, or should it be transferred to my foundation? That's a great question. Um, the only thing I think that would make the difference on why that matters is a lot of times we don't know what the future holds. And because the beneficiaries are tied as US citizens to a policy, you may have an issue with the collections on the policy someday. I'm just thinking out loud. I'm just saying plausibles, not realities for us today. But that is a plausible. And a foundation is not just now tax exempt, even though it's tax exempt for the wife and the daughters and your son, whatever. Even though it's tax exempt for them, it may not be something that they would be able to inherit for any number of reasons. They may come after you for not getting digital ID. They may come after, your family for X, X, and X. So you may just want to put it in the name of a foundation of an entity they have no jurisdiction over as a beneficial interest, and then will it out within the foundation. Teach your family how to live through the foundation for generational wealth purposes. The foundation is going to bypass tax now, bypass tax in the future. Doesn't matter what they do to change things. They can't tax entities they have no jurisdiction over. That's when you start, listen, people just go, Kelby, bullcrap. No, not bullcrap. When you start understanding public versus private like I got it, it's not. Because they don't have jurisdiction over anything that is not put into the public, meaning registered. So I would absolutely unequivocally, after thinking about it, because we don't know the future, I'd make it go to the beneficial interest of a foundation and teach your wife how to operate it. Make sure that she's either listed as the marketing director right now that comes into the position of executive director upon your death or what have you, so that she can go in and cash that check or receive the wire transfer. I've got a speeding ticket in my hometown. Is there anything special I should know? The ticket is about $125 with no points against me. Should I just pay or call their 1-800 number? So if you got no points, just pay it, move on, man. Our time is valuable. Did you get it from a light? Did you get it from a sign or is it a cop? Let me know that. You can get a foundation account with Kraken Exchange. Thank you, Joseph. Yeah, anybody can. Since checks have come up, I had a cash checking store inform me that they require a profile specifically so that they have recourse. With this foreknowledge that they will likely push for recourse if anything goes wrong with the check, would you personally sign non-assumpsit or do the name without prejudice or without recourse? So that's a whole nother thing. So John, tell me the scenario. These are your checks. You're not receiving checks from somebody else. How are you using your checks with a check cashing company? Why is that important? I got you. You threw me for a loop. I caught up with you. I figured out something. Rewrite that because I don't understand why you need to go and cash your own check through a check cashing place. Um, thank you. Thank you. Can you show us your national passport? I don't have a national passport. It's no different than any passport of the United States of America. It's the same. Nobody has a national passport. Um, you have a passport of the United States of America. Everybody does. There's people that have a black passport where they have immunity, whatever, but they all look the same. So there's really no need for me to show you my passport. What's important is the certified copies of the passport application. I can show you that. But certified copies of the passport application are all that they do for subject matter jurisdiction, meaning if they're going to try to get jurisdiction over a man and bring him into court, they're going to go after the passport application. That's why we ask for certified copies of the passport application from the Department of State so that we can always hold evidence on us and we put that into our court of record and serve them all. Hey, look, state citizen, leave us alone. But it's not the passport that matters. It's not your driver's license that matters. It's the underlining application or the adjustments that you've done to the application that matter. Okay. Next question. Kelby, you're doing amazing, and I'm a huge fan. Thank you, buddy. I wish I had the money to become a VIP member right now, let alone go through your whole process. I'm just trying to put my life together. But I do actually have about 500 in XRP because it's money I put into my investment account a couple years ago when I heard about You talking about XRP. I put it all into that currency. How long until this blows up, do you think? You're going to see a major adjustment in the next 30 days. And I think you're going to be very happy. And over the next 3 to 4 months, we could all be in a very, very different position. So hang tight. We're almost there. The whole world's coming online this month. That's why the government shut down right now. 100%. If we wanted to have a discussion about offering assistance as a ministry, not necessarily for charge, to select HISA members, is that something that you would have to just regular brief conversation, or do we need to go through a paid consultation? All right. If we wanted to have a discussion about offering assistance as a ministry, not necessarily for charge, to select HISA members, what do you do, John? Offering what service to our members? I'm confused. Just help me understand. It's for cashing checks made out to the BC through a check cashing service. What you would be offering to our members for cashing checks made out to the BC through a check cashing service. That's what you're talking about? Yes or no? Because wait, no, that's two separate things. All right. Hey, call me. I'm gonna put a phone number 46. Text me at that phone number. Let me know this is John, and I'll reach out. We'll have a quick 5 minute or whatever, and give me a couple days. But we got a lot going on this week. Um, Listen, guys, that's all the questions. I love you. I thank you. I appreciate it. All cold wallets, not all cold wallet, Joseph, most cold wallets let you set up a seed phrase. A lot of cold wallets do, but not all. Some of them give you the seed phrases. That's important because that means they have the seed phrase. Peace. God bless. Listen, become a VIP member, get a signed autograph book. Become a VIP member, get a signed autograph book. Tell your friends. May not be that important to you right now. It's going to be extremely important for the hundreds and hundreds of VIP members that we have in the next couple of weeks, because they're going to be thanking God they came and they listened and they did what we told them to do, because their whole worlds are about to change. God bless you guys. We thank you from the bottom of our heart. I'll see you tomorrow morning, VIP members, 8 a.m. Pacific. No. 9 a.m. Pacific. Um, get your bells on. Looking forward to having another meeting with you about what's coming up. Keep Sudan, keep these countries in your prayer, keep what's going on in the world in your prayers. Stay strong, stay focused, and don't worry about what the left is doing and what the right is doing. It's all the same bull crap. Just stay focused, stay happy, and understand we're in a war in a lot of different respects, but we win in the end, and that's just simply what it is. God bless you. Have a great week. I'll see you next Monday, 4 p.m. Pacific, for the next set of Q&A for living in the private. God bless.